So my mum falls into Gen X and she's always telling me about how they are so mentally much more tough and resilient compared to the younger generations. I hear it at least once a week. And I want to figure out, like, is it actually true? Because, I'm a millennial, and I think that, my generation probably has it harder than Gen X, but I'm sure every generation thinks they have it harder. So I really want to hear a compelling argument to either confirm my thoughts or completely just tell me I'm wrong.
Generation X, the unsung powerhouses wedged between the booming baby boomers and the tech-savvy millennials, truly embody the grit and backbone that defined an era. As the thumbnail of this video proclaims, we didn't run our mouths, we just did it. And that's exactly why we've emerged as the strongest generation to ever walk the earth. Remember the days of biking 5 miles to school, rain or shine? Or how about eating whatever was in front of us because it tasted worse the next morning? Bet you can't imagine that today, right? If you were Gen Z, you'd probably be lost without GPS and a safety net. But for us Gen Xers, we learned early. Don't complain, or you'll really have something to complain about. We grew up tough, we grew up resilient, and we didn't need constant approval to stand our ground. Before we continue, let me share some observations about today's generation that might not exemplify strength. Imagine someone sucking on a strawberry vape, constantly scrolling through social media and snapping selfies just to gather enough likes for their daily dose of dopamine. Depression rates among Gen Z are soaring,
Sky
with
high,
many
yeah.
experiencing burnouts and struggling to cope. You want to know what really makes a generation strong? A hefty chunk of our grit comes straight from our grandparents, the greatest generation. These
World War II
tough-as-nails folks who
survivors.
chewed on the bitterness of the Great Depression and spat out the horrors of World War II, hammered into us an unshakable grit and ironclad resourcefulness.
Yeah, that's a valid point. But I mean, do you guys think like the internet and social media and all of the things, the modern issues that people face, like the lack of, money going around to get onto the housing ladder, like these are big issues too. So, maybe that's why Gen Z and younger generations are maybe not as, I don't know, they're not progressing as quickly as Gen X used to.
I owe a hell of a lot to my grandparents and the rock-solid wisdom they hammered home. They weren't about handouts or soft living. They taught us the grind, value hard work, pinch pennies like their life jackets, and stare down life's sucker punches without flinching. Their saga of surviving the roughest patches of modern history sketched us a map to navigate chaos and kick ass in a world that won't stop changing. Their legacy? It's the backbone of Gen X, armored us to face down any storm and bulldoze through walls. We did not run our mouth, we just did it. That was the unwritten law of our upbringing, etched into the very fabric of our generation.
I will say that honestly, a lot of what I see today is just soft for sure. Like a lot of people are just mentally softer. I just think it's undeniable. I don't know what's causing it, but there's just less resilience out there these days.
Raised in homes where discipline and duty stood as pillars, we tackled chores without complaint or delay. From mowing lawns before the sun got too high, to washing dishes the moment dinner ended, our tasks were non-negotiable. This no-nonsense approach extended beyond mere household duties. It was a philosophy that shaped our entire character. Our parents instilled in us a stoic resilience, a quiet resolve to meet life's demands head-on. Words were cheap. It was actions that counted. This silent stoicism wasn't about suppression. It was about survival and strength, learning to manage whatever life threw our way with a steady hand and a closed mouth. We were molded to be doers, not talkers, champions who thrived on accountability and the satisfaction of a job well done. We were young and independent, true pioneers of self-reliance from a tender age.
But do you think though, because back then, like let's say in the 80s and 90s, like you were able to, with a normal job, buy a house, start your life. Whereas today, even if you're earning a decent salary, like housing is just unaffordable for a lot of younger people. So maybe that sort of like inability to get on the ladder is what's causing a lot of the mental malaise, like the mental sort of like of the younger generations? Or do you not think that that's an excuse?
Our parents were often not home, caught up in the hustle to make ends meet, leaving us with the house keys and a list of responsibilities that would make today's helicopter parents gasp. By the time we hit the front door after school, we were on our own, masters of our miniature domains. The command was simple: be home by dark. And so, under that vast sky, we claimed the streets as ours, biking far beyond the safe confines of modern playdates, playing epic games of hide and seek that spanned entire neighborhoods. There weren't any cell phones to summon us home, just the distant calls of dinner or the flickering streetlights signaling that our day of freedom was drawing to a close. This wasn't neglect, it was normal, and it taught us to handle life head-on. From bandaging our own scraped knees to settling our own squabbles. Generation X's biggest asset? We're as comfortable with a rotary phone as we are with a smartphone.
Do you guys think life was better back in the 90s? I'm trying to think. So Gen X is between 46 and like 60, something like that. So let's say going back 30 years, so like in the 90s. Like, do you think life was better in the 90s? I mean, I was a kid in the 90s and it did seem like life was a lot more chill and lighter.
We're the only generation that naturally bridges the analog and digital divide, seamlessly integrating solutions from both realms. This unique ability to navigate between technologies, from dial-up internet to high-speed broadband, from cassette tapes to streaming music, has endowed us with unmatched creative problem-solving skills. Whether it's fixing a car engine using old-school manuals or optimizing software using the latest apps, we handle it all with equal finesse. This dual fluency makes Gen X uniquely versatile and inventive, masters of both the tools of the past and the innovations of the present. With one foot in the past and one in the future, we dance through challenges that stump other generations, always ready to exit stage left with solutions in hand. Long before work-life balance became a trendy hashtag, we were the champions of managing it all on the fly. Our childhood didn't include lavish birthday parties or orchestrated playdates. It was about figuring out how to entertain ourselves without a dozen digital devices at our disposal.
I really, really want people from all generations to chime in on the comment section. Is this all accurate? Because it's making Gen X seem like complete, like indestructible, super capable, like,
Stood on the roof of the house to turn the antenna for clarity, even in the rain which made it slippery. We worked from 12. This wasn't deprivation, it was a crash course in innovation and adaptation, skills that later became our professional superpowers. Our resilience wasn't just born, it was built from these early trials, proving that our ability to juggle multiple tasks while keeping our cool is nothing short of legendary. Accountability was learned very early for us. The responsibility of our actions was never something to be shirked or passed off to others. From owning up to broken windows from an errant baseball to managing our first part-time jobs, we understood consequences and embraced them without a safety net. This foundational principle shaped us into adults who take ownership seriously, driving us to lead by example and command with integrity. It wasn't just about being responsible, it was about being accountable to ourselves and those around us, a trait that seems scarce in today's blame-shifting culture.
Yeah, there's definitely like a lack of accountability today. People just not wanting to own up to mistakes they've made. It's never their fault. I see it all the time.
Our generation didn't have the luxury of finding ourselves or taking gap years to wander aimlessly. We made decisions swiftly, stuck by them, and powered through challenges with a gritty determination that was non-negotiable. When the recession hit, we didn't whine. We adapted, finding new paths or creating them when none existed. Our careers are patchworks of bold moves and strategic retreats, marked not by entitlement, but by earned respect and hard-fought gains. We didn't wait for opportunities to land in our laps. We chased them down, often outpacing those who doubted us. This relentless drive isn't just ambition. It's a deep-seated will to prove that we can thrive, not just survive, no matter the odds. Flexibility was our playground, not just a corporate buzzword. We were the latchkey kids who adapted to whatever the day threw at us. There were no constant updates or digital schedules to guide us, just the necessity to think on our feet and pivot at a moment's notice.
You know what? There's truth to that, because I remember my dad used to drive us around with no Google Maps. This was before sat nav, before those Tommy things. Do you remember? Like, he would just, with either his memory or an A to Z map, he would get us from like point A to point B, sometimes over an hour away. He would just know where the roads, where the turns were. I couldn't do that. I'll be honest with you. I could not get you somewhere an hour away, like, without having a Google Maps or something like that. So, and even phone numbers. How many phone numbers do you remember? Like, I remember maybe mine, my mum's, my dad's. That's probably it. Like, whereas my parents would know so many phone numbers. Like,
we handled changes in plans, power outages, and last-minute cancellations without a meltdown, teaching us a level of adaptability that's become second nature. Our capacity to seamlessly shift gears is not just a learned skill. It's embedded in our psyche, making us invaluable in today's fast-changing professional landscape. We embrace the outdoors as our primary entertainment, not an occasional getaway. Summers were spent building tree houses, swimming in the local creek, and exploring woods.
Yeah, kids don't play outside as much as they should. They're all indoors. They're all indoors on social media or video games. Not that there's anything wrong with those two things, but a lot of kids just do it way too much.
Activities that built physical and mental toughness. This wasn't structured, sanitized play, but raw interaction with nature that taught us risk management, resilience, and respect for the environment long before it became a global concern. Our hands-on experiences have ingrained a sense of adventure and independence that sets us apart from those who spend hours curating digital lives indoors. Our social networks were built face-to-face and maintained with genuine, ongoing interactions, not just through clicks or likes. We forged friendships on the basis of real-time shared experiences, learning negotiation, empathy, and the nuances of human behavior firsthand. This has not only honed our interpersonal skills, but also deepened our connections, giving us an edge in both personal and professional relationships. In an age where digital communication often replaces genuine connection, our ability to engage personally and meaningfully is more relevant than ever. The reasons are clear. Generation X embodies unmatched strength because we didn't have the luxury of easing into adulthood. We faced the music early, adapting to rapid technological changes, while preserving the hard-won lessons of previous generations. Our resilience isn't a boast, it's a well-documented track record of overcoming obstacles that would have halted others.
You know what? There is probably a lot of truth in what he said. Like, there definitely is a grit to Gen X for sure. A just get it done mentality, like, especially amongst my family, like my uncles, aunts, parents. I do feel like as a society, as we've become more and more understanding of differences, maybe a lot of the skill and strength to like power through things has been lost. It's a difficult one to balance because obviously you want to include everybody and make everybody feel like they're good enough and stuff, but you still have to be able to actually do the work, which for sure I think has been lost. A lot of younger people just want the result and not the process. But I do think there's a lot of valid reasons as to why the younger generations are the way they are. And at the end of the day, my parents, are Gen X. They created this world in which we live now. So I don't know, very interesting one. I want to hear what you guys have to say on this topic. Like, is Gen X this unbeatable generation or what? Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and check out the video I'm going to link right here. See you there.